Good morning, Steve from Gym Hub. I had a question inside the Gym Owners Network this week asking, why do gyms go broke? We're actually seeing a lot of this at the moment where because there's so many gyms on the market, like cafes, like hairdressers, like real estate, you actually have to be quite good to survive. Merely opening a gym, having a nice fit out is no longer enough to kind of, cover your rent, cover your expenses and actually make a bit of money. As an example, I was just in a cafe this morning and I could hear the owner. I was the only person in there. I could hear the owner just sort of walk out the front to deliver a coffee to someone, and she said, "Look, I'm gonna have to do something. It's just not working, the whole cafe thing. I think I'm gonna pick up some work like as a cleaner or something like that." And what's interesting is that there's often a lot of opportunities under our nose, in the example for her, that aren't being taken advantage of, and we sometimes look for other things like a part-time job to sort of supplement our gym income when we could be probably just doing a better job inside the gym in terms of cash flow. So at no point while I was sitting there for an hour on my laptop did she sort of find out what my name is. I've been going there for about 2 years. At no point did she say, "Hey, do you want another coffee?" And it's that sort of service that actually sets gyms apart, not the quality of the equipment. So imagine like a cafe, for example, where the service or the product is actually quite similar no matter where you go. Like the coffee, a good coffee is a good coffee no matter where you go. It's not dissimilar to the fitness industry where you guys probably have a Concept 2 rower. You guys probably do walking lunges or cables or something like that as part of your workout. So do we. But in reality, the thing that actually sets us apart and the thing that enables some gyms to be successful when others aren't are those small things when it comes to the quality of the service we provide with our members and the level of connection we have, whether we're sort of building that community, whether we know our members by name, whether we sort of make them feel special so that they want to invite their friends to come and exercise with them. Like it's that sort of, when you go to a great restaurant and it's so good, you can't wait to tell people about it. You're like, dude, you got to go and try this Mexican restaurant. It's so good in Manly. Like the first thing we do if we see a good movie or go to a great restaurant is want to tell friends, and that's the impact that we want to have in the gym where people are actually talking about us. So I love this question, why are gyms going broke? Because there's too much focus when it comes to the fit out, and is it a great facility, and do I have the right equipment? And there's not enough focus on the actual quality of the service and the connection with the people inside the gym. Today we use the example of the cafe, and there's lots of cafes. If you're just going to open it and you don't know people's names and there's no sort of, you're not making people feel good to come back and sort of make it their regular. Like gyms, it's actually, it probably will have to sort of shut the doors until someone gets in there that's willing to roll up their sleeves and do what it takes. So the second reason I see gyms go broke is trying to do everything themselves. So because we love the fitness industry, because most of us actually worked as a trainer or delivering classes or something like that, the first thing we instinctively do when we open our own gym is we dive into that role, and we're actually pretty good at it. We sort of get our first 50 members and we get going. But unfortunately, there's only so much time in the day. If you're running your own Facebook ads, if you're selling the memberships, if you're delivering the classes, not only it is a good product early, but it's almost impossible to scale. It's impossible to get another 50 members, another 50, another 50, and another 50. It's not a business. It's just yourself, I guess, with your name on the business card, working for yourself in your own facility. So one of the things I talk about as part of the Gym Hub mentoring is coming up with a process where you can identify good talent. So the recruitment system, so what you specifically want in a trainer, what roles and responsibilities they'll be looking for, and your ability to sort of onboard them so that they can actually come in and be dollar productive in the first 4 weeks is crucially important. If you're a fitness business owner and you're an excellent technician and you do a great class, that can be to your detriment if you don't actually find a way to teach others to do the same service and quality of service around you. If you don't actually manage to ever scale into a team and build a team around you to deliver the same thing. So the first reason I see gyms go broke is because there's too much focus on the quality of the bathrooms and the facilities, and not enough on the actual service and how well we sort of connect with the members and make them feel good. Number two is gym owners that try and do everything themselves. And again, that's fine at the start because you keep your overheads low. It's what you know, and you're actually getting pretty good results for clients. But it's the exact same reason why you will sort of experience fatigue and a bit of burnout after a year or two of doing absolutely everything yourself. You realize, you know what? I actually can't take another 20 classes this week. I don't actually have time to do another 10 sales appointments to get more people in the door. And as a result, you end up sort of realizing that you're essentially just earning the same income you could have renting from Fitness First or something like that. It is actually a smarter decision. If you're only going to build it up to your own capacity, you'd be better actually just, working outdoors, working from your house or renting from a Fitness First. There's no reason to have commercial rent, to have a business name, a website, and all the expenses that go with like small business. If your goal is not to at some point recruit and develop high performing staff and have a team, like a little army of people that are producing the same quality service that you are, so that your business can scale. The third reason I see gyms fail or have required to sort of close their doors is marketing. And there's a couple of different elements of marketing that I see are common mistakes that gym owners get wrong. The first one is trying to discount the membership instead of discounting the trial. So you see it on Black Friday, a gym say, hey, we'll give you, sign up for 6 months and we'll give you 6 months free. This is guaranteed to kill your business. Discounting is just a race to the bottom. There are, of course, some brands like Crunch that can do $5 a week. They'll get sort of 3,000 members in there, and they'll actually run at a loss for the first couple of years in order to try and take some market share. But there's very, very few brands, as in less than 1%, that can actually make that model work, that actually have enough cash flow just sitting in their coffers to run at a loss for that long. Whereas you and I, if we're running a small business, we can't afford to discount our memberships. You need to charge what you're worth. Instead, do paid trials, discount the trials so people can actually come in and see what you do, and use that as a marketing channel in order to get more people to, fall in love with your service. Number two is we sometimes make the mistake of delegating a service that we don't know, like marketing. So imagine if you're a really good group training instructor, your technique is good, you've got great enthusiasm, you actually control the class really, really well. It's likely when it comes time to actually, employ a trainer and teach them to be a good instructor, you'll actually get pretty good at this. What we do find, but, is you can't delegate something you don't have competency in yourself. So if you're someone that's outsourced marketing and you don't know what you're actually looking for and what a good campaign is and what you should be sort of spending, unfortunately, you're not only vulnerable to sort of being ripped off, but you get a lot of bullshit. You get these reports back every month saying, hey, we got you 2,000 impressions. It's like, what the fuck do impressions have anything to do with running a fitness business? Like, how much did I spend? How many people actually paid to book in and come in and see us? How many sales did I get? I see these people going, oh, we got like 10 leads for $10 each. Who cares if none of them actually answer the phone? Why would I be actually tracking that number? That's just that kind of bullshit that they give people that don't know what they're doing. So the tip number two around marketing is make sure you have competency. Make sure you actually understand the basics with things like paid ads. You actually understand, the basics with actually having a point of difference and a really irresistible offer, so that if you delegate it to someone on your staff or an agency, you can say, hey, I call bullshit, that this isn't actually a good campaign, and you can actually go elsewhere if you need help to find someone that's good at it, or you can actually save some money and learn to do these things yourself. The last thing I'll sort of suggest when it comes to marketing is making sure that you focus on the top four. So the four things in marketing that work really well right now are paid ads on Facebook. Number two, it's SMS, but you don't want to do that any more than about sort of 8 to 12 weeks apart. Otherwise, you're going to kill that list and no one will be actually interested in hearing from you. Number three, you want to use a weekly email, and this is your opportunity to build credibility, to give out some blogs, some recipes, some examples of clients that are actually doing really, really well, and build credibility over time instead of just like getting in front of someone on Facebook for the first time and saying, hey, come and pay to do a trial with us, which never works and is crazy expensive. Instead, you're trying to build a connection, show them the examples of people that you've actually helped, and then give them a call to action if they want to take the next step. So that's sort of an important process, and you can do a lot of that kind of credibility building via email. And then number four is referrals, and a lot of us get referrals. I think you could probably, realistically, the maximum you could get from referrals is about 30% of your total capacity. So if the only way you're sort of getting members at the moment is referrals, that's okay. But if you want to actually build more staff, more members, and sort of, increase the revenue and the profitability in your business, you've obviously got to do more than referrals. And an effective referral process is just that. It's a process. It's a system where every single week, the people that love you have like clear instructions and incentives to know how to refer their friends and family. It's not a passive approach. It's not sitting back and going, oh, I hope we get a referral this week. Instead, there's a system in place that encourages people to refer, makes it really, really easy for them to get updates on how their friend and family's going if they come in to have a bit of a session or a trial with you. And you make sure it's not salesy and you give them like heaps of high value. So just to recap, 3 main reasons why gym owners fail or they actually have to shut the doors. Number 1 is too much focus around equipment and the facilities, not enough on the actual service. Number 2 is we never actually learn to recruit and develop high-performing staff, so we end up doing everything ourselves and just doing burnout. Like there's only so many hours in the day. If you're tired, if you're still, only just above, 100 grand or something like that, it's because you're still doing everything yourself. And number 3 is the marketing. There's a few pitfalls there. One is sort of selling your soul, giving discounted memberships. 2 is delegating marketing to someone like an agency when you don't know the basics around marketing. Obviously, you're going to get sort of taken advantage of there where they're giving you these rubbish kind of marketing lingo or jargon, which means absolutely nothing. And then number 3 is make sure you're using the best 4 ways for marketing a gym at the moment in combination. So there's a combination of both paid and free marketing. I hope that's made sense, guys. I think we can learn a lot from how to run a successful fitness business by looking at, what people have perhaps struggled with or done or been unable to do, hence why their businesses have had to shut this year. I'd never wish, a failed business upon anyone. Like it's hard running a fitness business. I do it myself. Put your entire livelihood on the line of you, not only you, but your family as well. So if we can actually look at what some of these guys are doing that hasn't been working, I think it also gives us a good opportunity to identify what the opposite might look like so we can make it work. I'm Steve from Gym Hub. I hope you found that useful.